Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with my co-host James Mason. Our goal today is to bring you some insights and ideas to help you be successful in your day trading activities. Good morning, James. How are you?
Todd, I'm doing well. Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well also. Looking at the pre-market here, it looks like a little slower day today than yesterday.
Yeah. Not really too much to talk about. So, Todd, I think we should spend a little time in the comments today.
All right, let's do that.
All right, so Dow futures are currently up 87 points. The S&P 500 futures are up 16 points now, and we are looking to have a little bullish bounce. A lot of it is probably due in part to the bill that they passed yesterday. It was a tiny little bill of what was it, Todd? 3.5 trillion.
Yeah, 3.5 trillion. The Senate Democrats passed. It's a healthcare initiative, basically in addressing climate change, and literally the headline said to address some issues while they have control of both Congresses and the White House. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things where it's, hey, it's my turn at the pulpit, and we're going to pass this bill. Damn it.
Yeah. So $3.5 trillion, and you guys know what's going to change in your lives? Absolutely nothing. I mean, if you look back on all of the big life-changing bills that they have passed over the years, you know, that's how they always make it, at least, you know, out to sound, you know, that, if we change this bill, it's going to change all of our lives. It's going to help us all out. And there haven't been, man, ain't nothing in your life changed. Hell, it might have even gotten worse.
Yeah. The other big thing that's in the news right now is I don't normally watch the national news on TV, but last night I did with my wife, and the major topic was addressing the inflation. They were talking about different ways, how used cars have gone up, food pricing, et cetera. And they're saying we're up 5.8% from 12 months ago. But it was like they reported it like it was no big deal. And they're thinking by Labor Day weekend, actually, they said they think it'll all go back to normal, which I don't know how that's gonna play out that way. Honestly,
literally, what they said was, yeah, it's all going to go back to normal as the printers are just, shooting out money in the background, causing more inflation. You would think that these people, got an education in like numbers in general, but like economics, finance, things like that. You would think that they're supposed to be like the top experts in their fields, and they actually are considered that. But man, I know one thing. If I was in school, if I was in elementary school, and the teacher asked me, a question like, "Hey James, what causes inflation?" And if I spoke and I said something like, the continuation of printing money, that would be the correct answer. But with these guys, it'd be like, no, that's a good thing. I mean, it's just silly.
And at third grade, you'd know that about the continuation of printing money.
Yeah. But no, we know that causes inflation. When you keep printing money, it causes inflation. And
you'd be like, Mrs. Beaucamp, let me tell you, it's when the Treasury Department gets direction from the president to print more money. And Mrs. Beaucamp would be like, James, that's not accurate.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Mrs. Beaucamp was my third grade teacher.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to her then.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's watching in the crowd.
I wish she was. I'd make her stand on the chalkboard and write, I will not say blah, blah, blah. I spent more time at the chalkboard with Mrs. Beaucamp than any other teacher.
Well, Todd, I hate to break it to you. She might not be with us anymore. I don't know her. But
that's so horrible.
Just being realistic.
I know. It's
all right. Okay, guys. So let's talk about. Let me pull up my chart here. Ticker OXBR. So we have a lot of volume on this thing pre-market, and it's going to be interesting to watch this one. So just a quick update on the short interest and everything else. So for its last update, there really isn't much for the short interest. Just 171,000 shares being short. But shares outstanding, 5.7 million shares, and then the float, 4.1 million. Yesterday, they released a couple filings. Custodian Ventures announced a 9.9% ownership interest within the company. And then also a headline that there's a activist investor urging the company to explore options. And we all know if they explore options, what everyone's going to do with them. Short squeeze to 100,000. But literally, that's what everyone is going to try to do. So what I am looking for here is we can obviously see yesterday that nice push up after hours. A lot of volume there. And then pre-market here. Coming back up here to test near the same highs. So what I will need to see, actually, let me check this out a moment. I mean, we could catch a bounce play in between here, but really for that quick day trade, we do need to wait to see this thing break above pre-market highs right here at 566. And personally, I don't foresee this thing actually making a strong push up. I could be wrong. I mean, there are only 5.7 million shares outstanding. So if people keep buying, this thing is going to just keep spiking up like crazy. But if you look at this daily chart, and if we're just going to be, realistic and honest with ourselves, this gap up, I mean, heck, the gap up early pre-market was right up here. So when you gap up that much, you do need to expect it to pull back. It's just It's just too much on that daily chart. But if we do break that pre-market high and break above 566, we potentially could test up around this 650 range. But again, this one might be tough. So how I would personally approach this would be, I mean, realistically, I'll probably just trade in between the lines. But, you know, for the sake of the show, like I can't like tell you like which range. It would be so hard to tell you right now because there's not a setup for me. And if I tried to give something that's hypothetical right now, later on when someone watches this show, that setup is not going to be exactly the same. And they're going to jump into it. And the next thing you know, this thing is sitting around $2.50. So basically right now the plan is just to wait for that break above that pre-market high, take a smaller position, and just let it do its thing. I don't want to go too heavy here because if this thing unloads, I don't want to be caught holding bags. This would only be a day trade for me. So this is ticker OXBR.
The other thing you have to be careful about is when it has a heavy gap up like that, that's a VIP invitation to short or the bears to come in here and crush it. So you don't want it. That's one of the things that we look at these when they spike. The spike is easier for the bears to get in there versus a stair step climb. Stair step up, elevator down. No, wait, what's the other way around? Elevator up, elevator down. I only said that because James said we have a whole lot to entertain the members today. So I go, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'm sure I just did it with all those great comments.
All right. Let's talk about another one. Y'all probably haven't heard about this one. This is ticker POAI, Predictive Oncology. We are not necessarily seeing, a ton of volume pre-market, but we do have some nice pre-action overall. Did I say pre-action? Not pre-action, price action. We have some nice price action pre-market overall, and this, hopefully we're bottoming out. That's what I want to see for obvious reasons. But looking at this daily chart, we absolutely need to get back above 116 and stay there, which is above that white line, that non-EMA line. If we can stay above that non-EMA line, we're okay. But yeah, breaking below that non-EMA line, that's that critical zone at the moment. And looking back at that 5-minute chart, we need to see that non-EMA line on the 5-minute chart hook back above that VWAP, and then that will be confirmation on us getting some bullish momentum here and potentially testing that 128 range today and to the moon tomorrow.
To the moon. I need a to the moon backdrop. So working. I'll have our graphics guy whip that up real quick.
Oh, that'll be me with the horrible graphics.
Like my professionally done POAI backdrop.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Let's take a look at ticker ADAG. Randy Woodall is asking about ticker ADAG. No question, he just put the ticker in there to give us something to talk about. Really appreciate that, Randy.
ADAG.
Nope. Apple.
Oh, AD. That's R.
Apple David. Apple George.
All right. Man, I do not know anything about this company.
Randy, do you have a particular question regarding ADAG, or you just wanted to hear us ramble about it for a little bit?
Someone's over there shuffling out numbers, throwing them out. Letters, throwing them out to us.
Yep.
All right, so I don't have anything for short interest, but shares outstanding 43.5 million, the float 18.1 million. Honestly, I don't really see much of a setup here. I would say this thing is potentially going to come up to about this 1870 range, get rejected, and then pull back. I'm assuming that either this thing just IPO'd or had a merger not too long ago and then has sold off since then. But usually with this setup, we don't even have enough candlesticks to populate a 200 EMA. And I hate that. So just looking at the candlesticks right here, we'll probably see this thing come up here, test around this range, get rejected, come back down, and just be all over the place for a little while. There's really not enough data. I could pick, tiny little trades out of this, but to try to break down on video a tiny little trade, there's so many variables that go into play. It would just be too hard for someone to honestly capitalize on it later when it actually happened. Yeah, honestly, this one, I don't like this one for a trade.
It's indicating on our trading view, Transparent Traders entry and exit indicator that it's on a right now on a 5-minute candle. It's flagging a bullish indicator. So I'm all in. Becca Moon, thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. Let's see. Let's take a look at ticker SGOC. That's been a hot date this week. Michael Broadbent's asking about SGOC.
Ooh, this would definitely be a no-go for me. So we all can see by the obvious daily chart here, this bullish parabolic run, and then the sell-off. So pre-market, it is up a little bit, but it's going to get rejected somewhere in this range and then tumble back over. That's honestly we just took off here. And when this happens and then that sell-off happens just like this, a lot of people will try to chase it thinking that they're buying the dip right here. And the thing is, this is not a dip. A dip is when something goes up and it comes down and then it will curl and then come back up. That's a dip. When you see it literally dip, not straight up and then straight back down in the same area. So this setup right here is where a lot of bulls will get trapped and then get turned completely upside down. They think that they're buying the dip, that it's going to bounce and then rocket back up to test these highs. And that very suddenly happens, if ever. So this one, it's going to fake a lot of people out, end up pulling back and then selling off the days to come. We might get a dip later, but I kind of doubt that. And the reason why I say I doubt that is we really only had 2 strong, parabolic days here. So whatever caused this thing to, break out like that, that run is probably over. So that is more likely what's going to happen on SGOC.
This has been a stock that's been heavily traded also the last couple of days for scalping. And the shorts have been in this one in and out hard. I know there's been a couple of groups I've seen that have been talking about it.
I'll tell you one that I'm looking to personally short. Now, lately I haven't really been shorting too much But I was watching this one for a bullish play yesterday, and then I was waiting for it to break above 16, 70, 71, 72. And after I actually alerted it, it pulled back. It didn't come up here. And I canceled the trade, and then it came back up, and it tested the range, but it just didn't, commit to it. And I'm glad I did cancel the trade. But we can see what it's doing pre-market here. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of retail traders, now explain why they're jumping on this here in a moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of retail traders try to jump on this thinking that there's going to be continuation on this daily chart, as we can see right here. But, oh, hey, good morning, you beautiful. Yeah, I know. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the straw. Yeah, thank you for the coffee. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I love you. You're so sweet. You get it from me. Yeah.
I'm getting Ilana a watch. 2 minutes to market. She's delivering her. She's either got to come 20 minutes early or 20 minutes after 9:30. Ilana.
All right. Man, pre-market show is flowing by quick. All right, so I'll finish this one up. So a lot of retail traders are probably going to jump on this trying to catch FOMO, and I'm honestly expecting this thing now to have a pretty decent pullback since it didn't really make that strong push up yesterday. I mean, it did, but I'm talking about intraday and to where it would test the highs of the previous after hours. But the news on this one is that this company is going to be available in all of the Walmart stores and their pharmacies. In August, though, that's the thing. In August. So for this thing to spike and start running right now, it's only spiking off of that news. And really, if we're going to be honest here with ourselves, news with no action currently in play is meaningless. So while they are going to join Walmart and be available there come August, that's not the now and in the moment. So this is one that I do expect people to start paying attention and probably taking a short position in today. That is ticker PLXP.
All right, 30 seconds from the start of the market. Any quick final thoughts, James?
Ooh. No. Dow futures are pushing up pretty nicely at the moment, but with how rapidly that they're pushing up right now, I would probably expect a quick pullback. So be careful, guys, coming out the gates. So y'all take care, trade safe, and let's make some money here.
All right, have a great day, everyone.